There's a ground ball to third.
Ooh.
Gets by the third baseman. And that will move everybody up one. Not sure if they'll call that a base hit or an error. I imagine they'll have to give the E5 on that one.
We could be nice and just call it a base hit.
We could. Since we have no official scorer. I mean, there is an official scorer, but they're down on the field, so
we can do whatever we want.
Do what we want. That'll bring up Armando Santiago, another extra hitter on this Blue Jay team, and he swings at the first pitch as well and sends one foul back to the screen. And it is 0-1.
Joel, you might want to welcome everybody again. We just got the audio working.
Oh, good. Was it not working before?
It just wasn't up.
Okay. Okay. 0-1 the count to Santiago. And the pitch is outside for a ball. 2-1. 2 on, 1 out. Tie game at 1. Blue Jays and Giants. San Diego Blue Jays, Tri-Valley Giants, father and son, Central Division. First game of the tournament for both of the teams. The 1-1 pitch is sent into shallow right field. Little Texas leaguer. That's going to drop in for a hit. Everybody moves up, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Jesse Garcia. Had a couple of Texas leaguers in this inning.
Well, Joel, as you mentioned earlier, it's a high sky.
Well, I don't think they could have caught that either way. It was just well placed as it turned out. A little conference on the mound between Mike Crudale, the catcher, and Evan Bayless, the pitcher, as Jesse Garcia standing in. Jesse, the center fielder, bats from the right side against the lefty Bayless. Sacks jammed, 1 out. Top of the first, 1-run home already in this inning. Swings of the first pitch, hits one into right field. Will it be deep enough? The catch by Shaw. The throw will be offline and well late. In fact, everybody's going to advance. Now there's a throw to second, and they will nail Santiago trying to advance. A run will score, but that will end the inning. So it'll go down as an RBI sacrifice fly for Jesse Garcia on a double play. That goes 9-2-4. We will go to the bottom of the second inning. Topsy-turvy game already. Blue Jays now on top, 2-1. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto. Father and son Central, Tri-Valley Giants, and San Diego Blue Jays. Bottom of the second inning. Scott Shaw leading things off here for the Giants, who are now down in the game 2-1 after an inning and a half of play. 1-1 now the count. as we see Joe Olivaria out for his second inning of work. Scott Shaw, the right fielder, leads things off. He'll be followed by J.B. Boersma in an A-B slot. And then Kyle Cabanas are the three due up in this inning. 2-1 now the count. I want a little inside. 3-1. Any exciting things coming up this week in the tournament, Tom?
Joel, we've got the Legends game this Sunday, 7 o'clock here at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
3-1 pitch, a ground ball too short. Ruiz up with it over to first. And that's the first out of the inning. 6-3 on the putout for Shaw. 25th anniversary. It's got to be special.
A team of MSBL All-Stars will be playing Reggie Jackson's team of former Major League players in an 1890s style game.
1890 style.
Correct.
And how are the rules different in 1890?
Well, Joel, I wasn't here back then, but I'm sure they didn't have instant replay.
There's a base hit for Boersma in the A-B slot. Swung at the first pitch, send it right into left field for a base hit, another base runner. Fourth hit of the game already for the Giants. They scored one. Probably could have had more had it not been for the 5-3-5 double play in that bottom of the first inning, as they had two extra base hits but only managed the one run. That brings up Kyle Cabanas. Takes the ball.
Part of the allure of this game, Joel, is that guys like Fergie Jenkins, Dave Stewart, Steve Garvey, Ricky Henderson, and Luis Gonzalez are going to be playing, along with other guys.
Really? That does seem exciting. Another ball. I believe it's 2-1 now to Cabanas. 1-1 pitch, a soft liner is going to be caught by the first baseman on a nice play for Mike Cruz over his head there. No chance for the double play, 2 away. Go.
That's actually the mic.
Go. If you are hearing some background information, it's down on the mezzanine level. So if you hear some other conversations other than mine and Tom's, it's because we're at a big stadium. And there's a lot of people talking. So that will bring up Greg Diardi. This is another A-B slot for the Giants, and he takes a ball outside 1-0. So Diardi is in the A slot. Next time through the lineup, actually, yeah, they do have Diardi batting right now. On my lineup, he was supposed to be the B batter, but apparently he's the A batter. 1-0 pitch for a ball. I believe it is now. Actually, that was called a strike, 1-1. So Diardi will be the A batter, and I guess Bill Bay will then be the B batter in this 9th spot in the order. Man on first, 2 outs in the inning. Pretty good lead. There's a swing and a fly ball into center field over Fort Garcia, and he will make the catch to end the inning. So a lone single by Boersma doesn't buy him anything, as it turns out. We've played 2 here at Tempe Diablo. Giants and Blue Jays, with the Blue Jays on top, 2-1. Set it up to, but not today. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker along with Tom Prendergast and Amber Boletto.
Hi, Joel.
Hi, Amber. Mike Cruz leading things off here in the top of the third. 10, 11, 12 hitters due up for the Blue Jays. They lead it 2-1 here in the top of the third inning. Cruz, the first baseman, who's already made a couple of good plays. He had that over-the-shoulder catch last inning. Joel Contreras, the right fielder, due up next, and then Ben Ruiz in the top of the order. Strike is called. Cruz standing in from the right side against the lefty Evan Bayless, out for his third inning of work, and a swing and a ground ball. That's going to be fair past third. That will possibly be extra bases. Cruz heading into second. He will cruise into second, no pun intended, for
Very
a double.
intended.
And another leadoff double. Second straight inning this Blue Jay team has led off the game with the two-bagger. Nice hit there by Cruz, huh? Couldn't have done it better yourself, right, Amber?
I could have, actually. You know, Blue Jay is actually a city where I'm from, in good old Lake Arrowhead.
Blue Jay?
Mm-hmm. It's a little sub-city.
Okay.
Little tidbit for you.
Well, we appreciate it, of course. Joel Contreras standing in. Runner on second. Now, at this point in the lineup, of course, they do have the lead. There's always the possibility that he might drop a bunt down. Get him over to third with one out, but instead he swings away, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Nice play by Lolio, but he's not able to come up with it. That's going to be an infield single. He does manage to hold Cruz at second. First and second, nobody out. He bobbled it, did Lolio over at short, but that was a long way. He would have had to make a great throw to get him at first anyway. So
Yeah, definitely.
we'll call it a base hit. And that brings up Ben Ruiz, 12th batter, top of the order, due up next. Ruiz is an extra hitter for the Blue Jays team. He will square to bunt, take a ball. So we'll see how they want to play it here. The Blue Jays already ahead in the game by a run. 2-1 our score, top of the third. Ruiz, the bottom of the order, squared to bunt the last time. He looks like he's going to do it again. He will lay it down, but it goes foul. If they had bunts in the games you were playing, that would have been a tough play for you, the catcher.
Yeah, it would have.
You know, fast pitch softball, they do kind of have those swinging bunts. A lot of girls like to take the few steps up as the pitch is coming in, and the little slap bunts.
Those are fun.
Not exactly the same thing, though. 1-1 the count here. He does not square this time, does Ruiz, and takes one way up and away for a ball. 2-1. That is already the fifth hit in the game for the Blue Jays after going down in order in the first. So basically 5 hits in the last 2 innings, 2 on, nobody out. In at the corners, double play depth up the middle for the Giants. And the pitch inside gets away from the catcher, but he does a good job, does Mike Crudale, of keeping it close in. Then he throws back to second as over at second base, Cruz a little bit of a stumble back in, but he gets back in safely. 3-1 the count, though. Now to Ruiz. Bayless pitching from the stretch to the belt. Checks the runners, and the 3-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, and looked like Ruiz was trying to hit that 420 sign out in center field with that swing, huh? Big dimensions here at Tempe Diablo. For those people who have not been out here to minor league ballparks, they generally have enormous outfielders.
Yeah, it's the
fields,
biggest field I've ever seen.
340 down the left field line, 367 on the right field side, and ball 4 to Ruiz. He will trot down to first. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the order. Of course, Bayless the first time around took care of the top of the order easily, struck out the first 2 guys he faced, and then got Jeff Ruiz on the comebacker That was in the first inning. We're 2 innings later now, and we'll see whether or not they can do a little bit of damage this time with the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the third. So big down the line, 367 in right, 420 in center. So you can imagine how big the outfield must be. First pitch swinging, and nice play by the third base coach. It was a foul ball, though. Who is that? That's Mike Cruz over at third base. And the coaches.
Catch.
Well, he, shall we say, corralled it.
Is that what you say?
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
0-1 the count now to Garcia. The pitch on the way, off-speed pitch, and a good job to get him out in front. 0-2. Garcia, as I mentioned, struck out his first time up to lead off the game. I don't think he liked the call on the strike 3 call, but whether you like it or not,
that's what it is.
he was nailed. 0-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a little number behind home plate. Count remains 0-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. Blue Jays already on top 2-1. 25th anniversary of the MSBL MABL World Series here this year in Phoenix. We're at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The pitch, swing and a miss, and he will go down on strikes for the second time in the game. This time at least he went down swinging. Third strikeout of the game for Bayless, and there's one away here in the third. Still bases loaded, though, and Tony Cisneros, the second baseman, is up. First pitch to him on the way, and he swings again at the first pitch. A little Texas leader into right field. That's going to be a base hit. They may have a play at second, and they do. Force out at second, 9-6. A run will score. It is 3-1 for the Blue Jays, and that's kind of a no-win situation there for Ben Ruiz, who was over at first base. He had to wait to see if it was going to get caught. I mean, from up here, you could kind of tell it wasn't going to get caught, but he can't make that assumption. It'll go down as an RBI fielder's choice for Cisneros, and it is 3-1. Runners at the corners now and 2 outs. So Jeff Ruiz, who tapped one back to the pitcher Bayless, his first time up, is up again with his team on top by 2, 3-1. 25th anniversary of the World Series. Amber, what have you done that's been the most fun for you so far in the first week and a half of daily shows?
Interviewing the players is by far my favorite part. Meeting all the guys and.
How many different occurrences now have you had where something has happened during the interview? You had one where a guy was drenched with a.
Yeah, the first one drenched with water, and we've had 2 shaving cream parties. Let's see who can beat it.
1-1 the pitch, and there's a foul out of play. We'll see if over at first Cisneros wants to do some running here with 2 strikes. There's a runner on third, so a lot of times when you have first and third situations, especially with 2 outs, they may or may not throw down to second. 1-2 the count to Ruiz. The pitch, runner not going, and it's out a little bit high for a ball. 2-2. Deuce is wild here in the third. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count.
No pressure.
I'm not feeling any.
Me neither. It's nice and cool up here.
San Diego Blue Jays, Tri-Valley Giants. Bayless from the belt, the pitch, and a ground ball. That's going to get through the hole between first and second. Base hit, run scores, 4-1. Nice little placement there on the RBI single by Ruiz. And Contreras comes in to score from third on the play. First and second, 2 outs for the cleanup hitter, A.O. Olivaria, who doubled his first time up.
And it looks like there's a little chat.
Managed to find a hole between first and second. Kyle Cabanas and Jeff Boersma, and it was just well placed into right field. The run scores. And a little visit to the mound for the Giants. I believe that was Ed Cabanas, their manager, who went out to chat. To Bayless, who's given up 4 runs now in 3 innings after a 1-2-3 first. He has now given up 6 hits and 4 runs in the last 2 innings. And now facing A.O. Olivaria, who, like I said, doubled his last time up, and his only time up. He later came around to score. First pitch in the dirt. Nice stop that time by Crudale, the catcher.
Yeah, and he's making it known who's boss. Not letting anybody advance.
Just like you would have done.
That's right. That's right, Joel.
Olivaria from the right side. Bayless, the lefty. 2 on, 2 out, the pitch. That'll be outside. Throw back down to second. Not in time. You do that all the time?
Throw down to second?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I could make it, so there's that.
60-foot bases in fast pitch.
Hey! You hush.
I actually saw earlier on in one of the daily shows in the Game Shots a catcher actually throwing from his knees.
I saw that. Yeah, that was incredibly impressive.
A.O. now taking a ball for 3-0. This is a father-son battery for the Blue Jay team. A.O. the son is the catcher. Joe Olivaria, who's due up next, by the way, is the pitcher. And 4 straight balls to A.O.
Oof.
And that will load him up for Joe, who singled his first time up and was erased on a fielder's choice. So first walk of the game for either team, which is actually kind of a little unusual. We've already gone through, and I think that's going to do it for Bayless.
Yeah, I was going to say. He either needs to step it up or...
He is going to come out and see if we can tell who's coming in. If he would be kind enough to turn around for us, we
right?
can get
Goodness
his number.
Gracious. He has dark hair.
We got to have cameras over on that side, don't we? If he turns around, we'll know. So
Number
it looks like
37.
we're being told Mike Crudale. No, you just told me the catcher's number.
Oh!
We're looking to find out who the new pitcher is, and we'll get it as soon as when he makes his warm-up pitches, he will turn around well enough for us to see it. But isn't Brandon over there on the right side running a camera?
Should be. Maybe he fell asleep.
I'm sorry, it's Taylor over on the right side. We should identify our camera operators correctly. Wow, a side armor. See him drop down here on these warm-up pitches?
I did. That's a very interesting style he's got there. See if it does the job.
So Bayless is done for the day.
I'm seeing strikes.
No. And so the new pitcher is J.B. Boersma, it looks like, for the Giants.
Joel, did we talk about the significance of the pink shirts? Is it for Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
I am making that assumption, but I
am
have
going to as well.
But no one has told us that for a, for a fact.
I hope that's the reason, and it's not just a style choice, because I gotta say, it's a little...
What do you gotta say?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. I plead the fifth. Never mind. Keep forgetting that we're live.
So the side armor submariner J.B. Boersma is finished with his warm-up pitches. Joe Olivaria bats from the left side and takes a ball to start things off here with the new pitcher for the Giants. We're in the top of the third. 2 runs already home. 4-1 our score. Blue Jays on top. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a strike, 1-1. Olivaria singled and was erased for the first out of the second inning, an inning ago. Bats from the left side against this righty. Submarine pitchers like this, as the pitch comes inside, can be real difficult on the same side as they throw. So if you have a righty against a righty, sometimes it's really tough to stand in there at the plate when a guy's coming from that far to the side. But with a lefty, Olivaria up, it really negates that to a degree. And Boersma having a hard time finding the plate. It is 3-1 now to Olivaria. Sacks jammed here, 2 outs. Top of the third. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That'll load them up. The runners will go with the 3-2 two-out situation on this next pitch. That can be a tough thing to do from third, by the way. Tony Cisneros awaits. They will go. Well, and there's a ground ball to second, and the force play is made. And interestingly, that runner on first, A.O. Olivario, was not running as he should have been on the play, and it made it a much easier run. So interesting, but it works that way sometimes. We go to the bottom of the third inning as they get 2 runs in that, and the Blue Jays on top, 4-1. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto, as the Tri-Valley Giants taking on the San Diego Blue Jays. And we are in the bottom of the third inning, and the Blue Jays on top, 4-1. Philip Diardi leading things off here for the Giants, and this is another one of their AB batters, so next time around Kelly Bay will bat. Olivarius' first pitch is a strike. So, Tom, today is a championship day in addition to be a start-off day for father-son, isn't it?
It's going to be a championship day, Joel. Today we have playoffs going in 55.
Okay. So, Phil will swing and miss here at the next pitch. So we got playoffs going, and we've got a division just starting today.
It's a busy day here, and the trade show started.
We were going to get to that a little bit later on. Swing and a miss, or excuse me, a curveball over for a called strike 3. Diardi goes down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for Joe Olivaria.
We've got people out in left field there. Chipping golf balls. Did you notice that?
Actually, Amber can talk to you about that. She was out there doing the chipping thing earlier.
Amber, how'd you do?
Well, she didn't actually chip anything, did you? Go ahead, talk.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I did. I did a little chipping. Doug Forbes King helped me out a little bit. I had never even touched a putter. Is that what they're called? A golf? I don't even know.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, whatever. I had never done that before, and he helped me a little bit, and I was improving, and he said that I could come back when they were here again, which is today, apparently. Well, so I might head on over, get another tutorial.
Base hit for Jeff Boersma with 1 out, runner on first. And we go to the top of the order. They're only batting 11 in the order for the Giants, although they're batting significantly more than that when you include the AB guys. But 11 through the order, so we're top of the order in Josh Shaw, who has scored the only run of the game for the Giants. And he will stand in with the man on first and 1 out. Singled, stole a base later, scored in the top of the first inning, but that's been the only run for Tri-Valley. You know, Amber, I don't think that headset was designed for people with a bun in their head. Double play ball, short, but not able to turn the 2. They'll get the force out at second, 1 away. Excuse me, now 2 away in the inning. On the fielder's choice 6-4. And now Shaw at first. We'll see if he wants to do some running again.
Joel, on the other side of the concourse, we've got the basketball hoop.
I saw that.
And the pool table.
Every time we do one of our daily shows, I'm worried somebody's going to start throwing basketballs toward us.
Amber, when you're doing interviews with the guys, are they being polite?
They're being very polite.
Okay.
Very, very, very cool and generous and funny. A lot of them.
As long as they don't have shaving cream in their face.
As long as I don't get shaving creamed, I don't really care. Makes for good TV.
You know, you've become somewhat of a celebrity.
What do you mean somewhat?
I don't know if you know that.
What do you mean somewhat?
Joel's been getting stopped in airports, and not just by Homeland Security.
For the first time. That's new for you, huh, Joel?
Emilio Lolio is standing in now. Check over at first base for Shaw. I guess they remember that he stole a base the last time he was up. They got Emilio up on the scoreboard, but Nico is what I'm going with. Runner does go, swinging a foul, so he'll have to go back. A little bit of speed out there for Josh Shaw at first base, huh?
Yeah,
yes.
He's quick.
I'm guessing he's a son, Joel, and not a father.
That's presumptuous of you.
You ever have both?
It certainly is.
Ever have both out here in the father-son tournament?
We have.
I would imagine you would have. I mean, guys that are both sons and fathers.
Yes, we have.
It happens, which makes one of the fathers a grandfather. We'll see if he goes again. He does not, and the pitch outside.
You know, originally this started out as just strictly father-son.
Right.
And as the tournament
Uncles
got bigger, it included uncles and nieces, daughters, grandpas. It's really become a family division, Joel.
Yeah, I got the pleasure to talk to Val Lewis, one of the founders of that division.
Swinging a foul ball, tapped down the first base side.
Val's been terrific. He's from Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the first lifetime recipient award winner for the MSBL.
Oh, he was the first.
Very first one.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I knew
Very
he
first one.
received it, but I didn't know he was the first.
Very first one.
He has great teeth. He has a very nice smile. I notice things like that.
That's why we have you up here, Amber.
To notice it's the little details that count, Joel. Right.
Shaw from first does not go. The pitch is a ball. He goes late, and the throw down to second. Not in time. Will get to center field. He will head on down to third. Will Josh Shaw now on third with 2 outs in the inning. So a stolen base, and I guess we'll have to go E2 on that one.
He looks a little out of breath.
It was kind of a delayed steal. We'll try and take a look at the replay here.
It's the little details that count.
With a man on third now and 2 outs with Lolio up. Ball. He goes late and doubled in a run. Not in time. We'll get to center field for the Giants. He will head on down to third. Will Josh Shaw scoots into right field, and Lolio will take a ball. I should say center field, not right field.
I was wondering what game you were watching.
And quick for Shaw. He popped up and went right to third as soon as the ball got by. It didn't really, go that far by. There's a swing and a ground ball foul past first, and in toward right field. 4-1 our score here. Bottom of the third inning. Giants trailing the San Diego Blue Jays. Giants were on top in this game 1-0, but Blue Jays have come back with 4 unanswered in the top of the second and third. 2 in each. 4-1 our score. Giants are threatening here, though, with a man on third and 2 outs. They need a 2-out hit. Ooh. There's a line drive, but into the seats on the first base side.
You can tell he wants it.
Got good wood on that one, didn't he?
Oh, Joel.
Yes, he did, Joel.
I thought
You're very astute on your part.
Thought so. And here's a swing and a foul straight back. This has been a good at bat for Lolio. He's been battling.
Making contact every time.
With Joe Olivaria.
Did you guys talk about the pink shirts on the umpires?
She thinks that it has something to do with breast cancer, but we have not.
Or they were digging through my laundry. One or the other.
Pitch a ball inside. That'll be ball 4, and Lolio will head on down to first with a 2-out walk.
Ooh.
He's going to try and run down to second, and will do so.
Wow.
Well, catching them napping just a little bit.
Yeah, that was bold.
And, the thing is about stuff like that, like we said before, when you have runners at the corners, first and third, in a league like this one, half the time they don't throw to second anyway if you try and steal. So why not just take it right off the walk?
That was a very heads-up play on his part.
It really was. Second and third, and 2 outs. And that brings up Benji Cabanas. And, this is their number 3 hitter. Should normally be their best hitter, though he hit into a double play his first time up. You remember that was the big 5-3-5 double play. He hit it to third, was thrown out at first, and there was a man on second who tried to advance from second to third after the throw, and they were able to nail him back there on good hustle. The 1-0 pitch outside for a ball 2-0, and looks like Olivaria is having a hard time finding his control here.
Did you mention it was a beautiful day here, Joel?
Once or twice.
Okay. Certainly is.
It
Great
really
weather.
is.
Chamber of Commerce weather today.
Absolutely. 2-0 pitch on the way. Taken in the dirt. Good stop by A.O. Olivaria. But the count goes to 3-0. They do have an open base, but you have your cleanup hitter coming up, so not exactly the best strategy to walk a guy, and there's no need for a force here with 2 outs.
Now, I'm kind of concerned that you guys have become nocturnal. What time are you leaving here? About 3 a.m.?
It varies. Mike Puglisi, our director for today's game, leaves around 3 a.m. every day, it seems like.
How about the talent, though? When do you guys get here and leave?
It's in my contract. I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah,
so.
we get in at like 5:30 and leave at 5:45. There's a swing and a ground ball to short. Ruiz makes the play over to first for the out, and that will end the threat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They get no runs. They did end up managing a couple of, 1 hit, 1 fielder's choice, 1 walk, and they leave 2 on base. We will go to the top of the 4th, 4-1 for the Blue Jays. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto. As the Tri-Valley Giants taking on San Diego Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays on top 4-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Contreras, Whitcomb, and Santiago due up for this Blue Jay team. And we have a new pitcher for the Giants. Boersma apparently just went that half an inning, so if we could find out who our new pitcher is, we will we'll pass that along to you. Looks like it's Rich Mangini.
Let's hope he can pull this one out.
I don't know if Boersma will be done for the day or not. Only face the one batter. Technically in MSBL play you can, unlike in most
you
baseball,
can return.
you can return once.
Okay. Interesting.
If you've pitched in a game, you can come back and pitch again. So we'll see if they end up needing to take advantage of that. Of course, the Giants trailing in this one 4-1. And they are hoping Rich Mangini will be able to calm things down. Facing Abraham Contreras. Got on a fielder's choice with an RBI and scored back in the second.
Have you ever been to San Diego?
Yes, I have.
Do you like it?
I love San Diego.
It's one of my favorite cities in California.
Went there on vacation. Went to SeaWorld. Saw a bunch of stuff. It's been a while. But yeah, terrific place. Went to Mexico while I was there.
Oh, it's right. Yeah, it's really close.
Tijuana.
Tijuana.
Curveball. Taken high for a ball. Yeah, we got two West Coast teams here in this game. Tri-Valley Giants from Fremont. And, of course, San Diego Blue Jays from San Diego. There's a fly ball out into left field. Ben Cabanas will camp under it for the first out. One away here in the top of the fourth.
Nice. Giants really needed that.
Yeah, they could use a couple of goose egg innings if they can get it.
Absolutely.
Trailing 4-1. You know, we've been watching. Obviously, we're based here in Tempe Diablo at the main stadium, and we've gone out to satellite fields and stuff like that. But we mainly see these stadium games throughout the day, and we have seen our share of lopsided ones.
Yes, we have.
In fact, the game right before this was a 19-0 game.
Yeah, that seems to be a constant here.
Well, I mean, occasionally you'll see some good ones swinging a foul straight back off the bat. Actually, looks like we have a pinch hitter up there. Chris Whitcomb was due up.
And this is number 24.
And Louis Garcia has come in to bat for him. So looks like we have ourselves a pinch hitter. Nobody on, one out. There's a base hit into left field for Garcia. He will stop at first. Good hustle over there out in left for Cabanas to get that one in quickly, but one on now and one out. And once again, the Blue Jays have something going here in the top of the fourth. That will bring in Armando Santiago. He singled, was erased on kind of an interesting play back in the second inning. That was the RBI sacrifice fly for Garcia after Santiago was on first with the single, and they threw home, and Santiago tried to go to second. Snap throw to first, not in time. Both of these catchers seem kind of active here on these throws around the ball.
I'm very impressed.
But anyway, so Santiago was on first, sacrifice fly, tried to advance to second on the throw to home, and this catcher, as we mentioned, Mike Crudale, active guy, threw down to second and nailed him for the third out of the second inning. Takes a ball, does Santiago. And so really the Giants could probably have more runs if it weren't for that. Turned out to be a double play. Of course, the Giants also lost a runner in a double play that maybe they didn't have to a couple innings ago. Throw over to second on the steal and not in time. As Garcia takes second base. Just took off. And Rich Mangini, you know, it's funny because you hear, I don't know how well you could hear through your headset. You could hear all the players on the field yelling, step off,
Yeah.
because he was just running in the middle.
Yeah.
But he was never, by the time he did step off and throw to second, time is called here. And so a stolen base, man on second, one out here in the top of the fourth. 4-1 already for the Blue Jays. We alluded to some playoff action in the 55 and over division, Tom.
Joel, I'm just back from World Series Central, and I've got some scores.
Well, we'll be happy to get them from you as soon as you are ready. After this pitch to Santiago, which is taken for a strike. So what's going on 55 and over Wood Bat American?
You know, our first game came in this morning. The California Old Blues upset the San Diego Stars 6-3. So they go right to tomorrow's championship game at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Congratulations to those guys.
Pitch to Santiago. Instead, Rich Mangini will step off. Is a team that loses ever not upset?
Oh, I think sometimes. Yeah.
Pitch up and in for another ball. Throw down to second, not in time.
Almost killed the pitcher there a little bit.
He did hit the deck pretty well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Any other scores, Tom?
Joel, I do have some more scores. I was kind of waiting for a
Nice
break
lull
in the action. Yeah.
There seems to be plenty of those. Pitch up and away for a ball. Ball 4. Throw back to second again. Safe.
That time that was a little closer.
It was. Let's take a look at just how close that was. We mentioned Mike Crudell, this catcher, very active. And, well, I guess, you know, tit for tat, so to speak. Louis Garcia took second base on that middle of the pitch steal. And so they figure they're going to keep him honest now. 2 on and 1 out for Jesse Garcia.
Joel, the scoreboard is not showing outs. How many outs are there?
There is 1 out.
1 out.
The leadoff hitter Contreras flew out to left for the only out of the inning. It's also not showing the count, which is 1-0. Now it's not even showing his name. They've been having trouble this whole game. Low and away 2-0.
This would be an infield fly situation.
It would. And by the way, Garcia is pinch hit for. Kenny White is now standing in for Garcia. Garcia had an RBI sacrifice fly we mentioned a couple innings ago in the second, which turned out to be a double play when the runner on first tried to go to second. Takes a strike, 2-1. Kenny White. So we kind of alluded to this earlier, and I don't think anybody heard. Kenny White the third, by the way. Since this is a father and son game, we need to identify people well. 2-1 pitch from Mangini. Instead, a look back to second. But anyway, in the father-son division, there is a participation requirement. Everybody's got to bat at least once, right? In the Central Division.
Correct.
Pitch on the way.
Well, when you say everybody, Joel, there's a limit on that.
Okay.
It's 14.
You have to bat at least 14.
Correct.
Okay. Aren't there some divisions where everyone has to have at least one at bat?
No, sir.
Not at all?
No. We did away with those.
I was going to say there was at one time.
Yeah, we've started those.
Is that Continental or something?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't remember. There's so many different names. Cactus.
We've had a lot of divisions over the years, haven't we?
Yep. Have it that. This is father-son Central. 3-1 the count to White. Big lead over at first, and again a look back to second. And it seems like Louis Garcia really spooked him when he did that steal, because they've just been doing nothing but checking over there. 2 on, 1 out. 3-1 the count. Pitch. Swing and a miss. And again, Crudell looks down to first.
Well, if I'm an infielder with this guy pitching, I'm getting a little antsy, you know?
You like guys that work quickly, huh?
I do. I think that helps keep you sharper.
Tom is a second baseman. Amber's a catcher, you know.
Amber, I'm looking down in the Sacramento or in the Giants dugout. It looks like there's a young lady down there in uniform.
There
is.
See that?
Yeah, I saw her before the game.
Do you know what position she is and why she's not playing?
Well, like I said, right now her position is left out.
Wow.
And a ball to...
You know, Amber, hopefully in the future, you'll be down in the dugout with the microphone, and you'll be able to interview people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which you do so well, by the way.
Shucks, thank
You
you.
do so well.
Thank you.
Now, I'm confused now. Tony Cisneros is now batting. I guess I must have missed Kenny White striking out, did I? We were talking about girls playing.
Us women, we always...
It's hard to tell because, like you said, the scoreboard doesn't have any...
None of the stats up there.
And so Tony Cisneros... There's another Tony Cisneros, if you're wondering why that name sounds familiar, that's also in this game. But the Tony Cisneros that is up now, I assume, is pinch hitting for Mike Cruz, because I would imagine that you wouldn't pitch hit for the pinch hitter in the middle of the at-bat. Takes a strike. So the
Joel-
other Tony Cisneros is up with, I would guess, 2 outs now.
Joel, I'm watching the game. I'm sitting right here next to you.
Yeah.
And you've got me confused.
Yeah.
All I know is number 14's at bat right now.
That I can tell you, but I
They're-
believe there's 2 outs. And now there's going to be a walk to Cisneros. That'll load him up for Joel Contreras, or at least due up. We'll see if they don't pinch hit for him as well.
Giants really need a turnaround right now. Morale or something.
Hey, Amber?
What should I?
It's because her mic is not near her mouth.
Well, you try having a bun and wearing a headset. All right.
With my hair, I don't think that would be possible. Joel Contreras is standing in, bases loaded, I believe 2 outs, and he takes a ball. Joel singled and scored last inning. We're 4-1 here in the 4th. Pitch taken for a strike, 1-1. Ben Ruiz due on deck, and then the top of the order for the Blue Jays. Got more scores for us?
I got a bunch.
We'll just throw
I've
them on
just been
in.
waiting for a...
Mangini's pitch swung on, grounded to second. Drop down is Cabanas over to first, and that will do it. So that was a strikeout by White earlier. 4-3 on the putout, and they managed to get out of the inning. There were some base runners, but nobody ended up with any runs. They leave 3, and we will go to the bottom of the 4th, 4-1. But Tom Prendergast has been itching to get some scores in, so why don't you do that right now, Tom?
Well, thank you, Joel. Joel, we've got some 55 Woodbat Central playoff scores. These are in from Goodyear, the Goodyear Complex. And this morning, the San Antonio Texans defeated the NorCal Giants 8-2 to move on. The SoCal Dodgers beat the Colorado Buffaloes in extra innings 4-2. It was the Arkansas Diamonds 8 and the Oregon Brewers nothing. And it was the St. Louis Cardinals 15 and the Puget Sound Mariners 5. So there's your update from those 55 Central playoff games.
All right. Well, that's cool. Okay, so we are at the bottom of the 4th inning, 4-1 our score. Back with the bottom of the 4th right after this on MSBL World Series Baseball. Welcome back out here to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker along with Tom Prendergast and Amber Boletto. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Giants trying to come back in this one 4-1. They've got the boys due at 4-5-6 due up. Tyler Brubaker leading things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He doubled, was stranded at third back in the 1st. Olivaria, first pitch a little inside for a ball. It is 1-0.
Joel, is it just me? You and I have been doing this for a long time. There seems to be a little bit more energy, a little bit more synergy now when you're broadcasting these days. What's different?
It does?
It seems like it.
It's like a coiled spring, Tom. Ready to go off at any time.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it just seems like something is different this year.
If you say so. You're probably referring to the pink umpire shirts.
Not it.
No?
Not it. It just seems like, Joel, there's something different about your approach.
Maybe it's all that all those police motorcycles out in the parking lot.
No, it's not the chips thing. Oh. You know what it is?
It's
your co-host.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that's where you were going with that.
Boy, oh boy.
I think as Brubaker will take ball 4 for a walk, and not a good way to start off an inning if you are winning by 3 runs.
No.
The thing you don't want to do is walk the leadoff hitter, who's the cleanup hitter, brings up Mike Crudale, the catcher. And it looks like we're going to get a quick meeting on the mound very quickly here by this Blue Jays team. Mike Cruz, their manager, out to chat with Joe Olivaria. That went quickly.
Now there are some participation when the fathers have to throw so many innings and the sons have to throw so many innings. So that is, and also during the father-son games, Joel, you've got to have an equal amount. There've got to be so many sons and so many fathers on the field. You just can't have all
at the same time.
Right.
Do you have to switch off in the batting order? Runner goes.
That is correct.
And the throw down to second, not in time, goes into center field, and Brubaker will head down to third. Well, it looks like a replay of our stuff last inning. Stolen base, and we'll go with E2. Let's take a look at the stolen base. A great jump by Brubaker on that play. And then the throw from Olivaria skips into center field. And once again, same situation where the runner just pops up and heads down to third immediately without even worrying whether the center fielder had come in to back up or not. Crudale now with a man on third and nobody out in the inning. Good opportunity here for the Giants to get back in this one.
Yeah, the center fielder was playing pretty deep, Joel. He wasn't going to get that ball.
Ooh-wee. And so Crudale with the RBI opportunity. He popped out to short his last time up, pops one up on the infield again. This will not get a runner home. It's handled by the second baseman. Not easily, but he did it. Tony Cisneros. And there's one away. Hi, Amber. Get everything,
Hi, Joel.
Did you get everything taken care of over there at the scoreboard?
They are working on it.
Okay.
Is the word.
We've really had a lot of technical difficulties this week, haven't we?
Technology can be
It happens sometimes.
Challenging.
Scott Shaw standing in. First pitch, strike called, 0-1. One out, runner at third. I have no idea what you're talking about, Tom. The 0-1 pitch, a curveball, and that will float across the plate for a strike, 0-2.
Amber, I was just mentioning to Joel while you were gone that there's a little bit of a spring in his step.
He thinks that
tournament.
He thinks I have a ton more energy. Can't you tell?
Yeah, by your monotone voice, I am getting that.
There's a swing and a base hit into left field. RBI for Scott Shaw, and it's 4-2.
I've been his play-by-play guy, Amber, since his co-host here.
Analyst, color man, John Madden.
Since 2007, and never once has he brought me roses. So I'm just saying.
I never bought you dinner either.
Oh, hey.
Tim McCarver.
Wow.
So you've been my Tim McCarver.
I have been.
To my Joe Buck.
Right.
Jonathan Boersma. Actually, this would be... Yeah, this is Boersma again. My original schedule had this as an AB group, but Bayless is not batting, so apparently Boersma's just hitting both times.
I would imagine if you're a scorekeeper in this game, you're using a pencil.
Yeah, well, I am.
Don't you think? It's a challenge.
You can see, pencil.
It's a challenge.
Love this MSBL World Series scorebook. They designed it for people who do not have reading glasses, right?
They did.
4-2 our score. The pitch, swing, and that's going to be a base hit into right field.
Nice.
Down the line, fair. And that will send the runner Shaw from first to third. Runners at the corners, one out.
They needed that.
And the Giants getting things going here in the top of the bottom of the fourth.
Well, Joel, it'd be great if we could get a camera shot from up above, wouldn't it? Kind of like the blimp.
I think that would be great.
We've got cameras located at different points of the stadium. This is really kind of cool.
This is very cool. New thing for MSBL.
It's terrific. Kyle Cabanas standing in. He popped out, squares to bunt, pulls it back. The runner will steal second. Going on the pitch without a throw is Boersma. Stolen base. And it is second and third with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. One run in already, 4-2 our score. Giants still trail in the game, but they have two runners in scoring position, tying runner at second. One out in the inning. The pitch from Olivaria. Taken for a strike. No action in the Blue Jays bullpen.
And did you notice the infield is in?
They are.
Wow.
Interesting choice. Mm-hmm. Especially, at this point in the lineup, if that's what they were concerned about, they should be walking him. There's a swing and a pop-up. It's into shallow right field with the infield drawn in. That's going to fall in for a base hit. 1-1 real score. Second run comes in. It is tied 4-4.
Nice.
A 2-run single by Kyle Cabanas. And he put it just over that drawn-in infield you mentioned, Tom.
Yeah, it backfired a little bit.
2 RBIs, and we are tied.
Well, that was just a good piece of hitting.
It was at that. Now we are going to get our first B hitter, Bill Bay, standing in. Greg Diardi was the first hitter in this spot in the order last time around. He flew to center. So this is Bay's first trip to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. See if we get some action going at some point here in the Blue Jay bullpen.
They don't look like they're too concerned.
Bottom of the 4th, 4-4 now our score. So basically we're starting all over here in this one.
Boy, the right fielder's really deep.
Coming in a few steps as the pitch comes in, taken for a strike by Bay. Throw over to first. Back in time is Cabanas. Hero of the moment with the 2-run single. Ball outside.
Now, how cool is that, Joel, to be playing on a team with your dad, and you drive him in, and then you get to high-five him? That doesn't get any better than that, do you think?
I think the girl's on deck.
She is. I was just going to point that out.
Kelly Bay, by the way, is her name.
That rhymes.
And a nice play by the third baseman over to second for 1 to first.
Very
double play.
nice play. Wow.
5-4-3 on the double play as that one went Contreras to Cisneros to Cruz. And we are done in the 4th, but they do manage to tie this one up. 3 runs bottom of the 4th for the Giants. We go to the 5th, all knotted up at 4. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto as the San Diego Blue Jays and Tri-Valley Giants all knotted up at 4 here in this Father-Son Central first game of the tournament for both of these two teams back on the East Coast. Well, shout out to Brian Sigler. Congratulations to the Sigler family. A new arrival just before the tournament, huh?
Brian and his wife, Whitney Joel, had a new baby girl, baby Drew Havana, on, I believe it was October 8th.
So congratulations. Congratulations.
That goes along with the his other 2 children, Wes and Max. So
great.
I'm sure at some point we'll be getting a picture of those guys.
That was the thing I was just about to say. Do we have a picture?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point we'll get it in the Daily News.
Okay. Well, we can get it up on the screen when we get one.
Joel, I will say this. While I've got your lovely co-host here, I'm going to turn the tables on her. She's been walking around interviewing everybody. I think, Amber, I'm going to take this opportunity to find out some information about Amber.
Oh wow! No one's asked me anything about.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna turn the tables on you because we all know what Joel does. Okay, but we need to find out a little bit more about Amber.
I am an actress living in Los Angeles. Been out there for about 7 years. Started doing a lot of theater.
Okay.
And just moved my way into film and TV about last year.
You seem very photogenic on the TV.
Oh, thank you. I've done some modeling as well. Some friends are photographers and shoot my face constantly.
Like Val Lewis, you have good teeth.
Oh, thank you. Well, my dad paid a lot of money for him, so he'll be happy to hear that.
Rich Mangini out for his second inning of work, and Kenny White Jr. with the pinch hit base hit to start things off from the left side. And we are underway, top of the fifth, leadoff single. Kenny White pinch hitting for Ben Ruiz. And top of the order now, Eric Garcia due up, and so the Blue Jays already came back in this game. They trailed 1-0, came back to build up a 4-1 lead. Lost that lead last inning. It's 4-4, and now looks like they want to try and come back again.
Joel, I would agree, and it's good when the games are competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
We never know when you get the team together how you're gonna mesh.
Throw over to first. Back in time easily is Kenny White Jr.
I do have to say this game is really inspiring. My dad coached me in softball for a long time, and we might have to join for next year.
Let's get a team together, Amber.
I think we should.
Well, Joel, Amber may be busy next year during the tournament.
You can still play. How many guys play? How many guys work in the World Series office and also play or umpire or something?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to interview myself. That might be a little awkward, so you might have to interview me next year.
I think it'd be perfect. I'm not going to be playing on your team.
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure. Interview each other.
Listen to that enthusiasm, Tom.
I can't get past your enthusiasm, Joel. So I'm up to my eyeballs in enthusiasm in this booth.
Garcia standing in. Man on first, nobody out here, top of the fifth. 4-4 game. Throw back over to first. Interesting, the first baseman's not really on the bag over there.
Did you notice this pitcher really takes it personal when somebody gets on base?
Well, I think it's, and that's Nico Lolio over there, who's now finally standing on the bag as the pitch comes into Garcia, and a swing, and he wrapped that one foul past third. Hard hit ball, but about a foot late. Foul. Yeah. But I think that it's because Mangini knows that, taking about 10 minutes to get from the pitcher's mound to the plate, he's got to hold those guys over at first.
The pickoff play at second, awfully tough.
Doesn't work very often.
Awfully tough.
First week, as there's a swing and a fly ball deep into left field. That's going to stay fair. That one is going to, well, no, it's not going to stay fair. It was just foul. Just foul. And nice so that'll just go down as a long strike. I was about to say before that pitch, in the first week, Bill Grossdidier, a former pro player in the Braves organization, was down here, and he was talking about how many times he sees guys try and go down to second for pickoff plays, and that in his pro days, the one daylight play, they would run it like once or twice a season, as opposed to what we saw it like 4 times last inning. This game.
Yeah.
So that'll go down as a long strike for Garcia. He's 0 for 2 in the game, struck out twice, but he was facing Bayless both times. And another check over at first base. Boy, that one was awfully close. That's the hardest hit ball we've seen in this game easily. So here's the pitch, and another swing and a pop-up this time. Foul ground on the third base side, and then the catch will be made for the first out.
That's a big relief for the Giants to get past him. Boy.
Well, after the long one, it certainly could have gone worse. That brings up Tony Cisneros. He is 0 for 2, does have an RBI in the game, struck out, hit into an RBI fielder's choice back in the third. 1 on 1 out here. Now in the top of the fifth, tie game 4-4. Squares to bunt, trying to bunt his way on, but he will bunt that one foul.
Hey, did I mention that Reggie Jackson is going to be coaching this Legends team?
I think you did, but it bears repeating.
Thought I'd mention it again. Maybe Amber didn't hear it.
Oh, I heard.
Everybody
I'm going to try
heard.
my best to get an interview with that man.
I'd like to know what he's doing now.
I know, right? Well, maybe we'll
I kind of
cover it
lost
in the interview.
I kind of lost interest after he tried to shoot the queen.
Is he? I don't even know what that means.
It was in the movie Naked Gun.
Oh.
Tom.
Oh. Okay.
He was acting.
Oh. Amber's an actress.
Yeah, I know. I thought maybe she knew him.
Yeah, we're best friends.
0-1 the count to Cisneros. Runner on first, one out. Another check down at first.
Joel, they must have heard you because they've got a couple guys hustling down to that Blue Jays bullpen.
You know, there's a bullpen on. For those people who haven't been out here to Tempe Diablo, there's a bullpen on the field on the third base side, but on the first base side, you're supposed to go off the field in right field. That one's a ball, 1-1.
We got our scoreboard back. That's nice.
It's definitely nice. Where did it go? Seems awfully big to move it.
Well, it was lunchtime.
I
so.
see. 1-1, one out, run on first. And I believe we have a pinch hitter for Cisneros.
Oof.
And there's a swing and a line drive to left, right to the left fielder, though, Cabanas, and he will make the catch. And
Giants held him. Good job.
that will do it for the inning, apparently. The scoreboard said one out. I only had one out. But everybody's running in like the inning is over, so we'll take their word for it. So we'll go to the bottom of the fifth inning, 4-4 on this one. All right, maybe they'll have to reset the scoreboard again. Back right after this, MSBL World Series Baseball. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Amber Boletto, and Tom Prendergast. We move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Tie game at 4. Bottom of the order due up for the Tri-Valley Giants. And we will get a chance to see our first look at our female ball player for the Giants. Kelly Bay. Then Jeff Boersma and the top of the order due up here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And it looks like we have a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. We'll try and get a check on exactly who that is when we get a moment. Or he does us a favor and turns around. So the Blue Jays, that'll do it for Joe Olivaria. Pitches the first 4 innings of the game, ends up giving up 4 runs. And we get to see Kelly Bay, our female contestant here.
See, I think this would be a perfect opportunity, Joel, to have Amber down in the dugout getting that interview that from the young lady. Who, just like with a boy, would be, she's got to be thrilled to be playing, you know, on the same team as her dad.
Okay. Still have no idea who's pitching.
Ooh.
But he throws kind of hard, and Kelly takes a strike. Looks like Eric Garcia has moved in to pitch. And his second pitch called a strike as well. It's 0-2, and this umpire is not being very generous with our female contestant. So if Eric Garcia is now pitching, we need to find out who's playing center field. I'll imagine it's Jesse Garcia, but that's just a guess on my part. 1-2 now the count. She looks good down there, doesn't she, Amber?
She does.
1-2. Takes it up and in for a ball. 2-2.
I always hated the tan lines I got from my softball uniform, so.
Did they make you play in the shorts with the long socks?
Yeah, it was the worst tan lines ever.
Still had to slide, too. 2-2 outside.
Yes, we did.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have been wearing those skirts that they wore in that...
Worse for whom? For me.
Well, yeah. In the Girls' League. League of Our Own
That's
movie.
one of my favorite movies.
Swing and a miss for Bay. She'll go down on strikes. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the fifth. 4-4 game. Garcia comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces. That seems a little cruel, don't you think?
She was overmatched on that one, but she did well. She worked him to a full count.
She did. Jeff Boersma was due up, but it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter, Angelo Crudale, coming in to bat. And he will take a ball with nobody on and one out here in the bottom of the fifth. 4-4 game. Giants trailed by 3 in this one at one point. They've come back to tie it. All in the dirt, 2-0.
Now, the Blue Jays have to feel good about this, Joel. Obviously, their strategy was have their father pitcher toss the first 4, and then let the son come in and do the last 5.
Strike called to Crudale. Well, if their strategy was keep him close, he certainly did that.
Yes, he did.
Now, you said that there were some requirements in the father-son league in terms of who pitches and so on. Strike to Crudale, 2-2.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, but you can have a father pitch the whole game, can't you?
You can.
Yeah, it's just that if a son pitches, he can't pitch the whole game. He's limited to the number of innings he can go.
Why
Strike
is that?
3 called.
For
Well,
the obvious reason that
theoretically, Amber, the son is going to be
better.
Sure. That's, yeah.
Yeah, from a competitive standpoint.
Well, have you ever played co-ed softball?
No, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever heard of co-ed softball?
I have heard, yeah.
You know how, and not sounding too gender biased, but in co-ed softball they make you switch up, male batter, female batter, and so on. It's along the same lines.
Sure. Keeping it as fair as possible.
Yeah.
I understand.
Balanced.
Yes.
And I believe they are probably adding Justin Crudale to the bottom of the lineup here. Can't be sure.
Yes, you can. He's at bat.
Well, no, we know he's at bat, but Angelo came in to hit for Boersma, we think.
I sure hope you're doing that in pencil.
I am. But the thing is since it's the last guy in the order, we don't know if they're adding people to the order or if they're pinch hitting for the top guy in the order. And since we have great communication here, we do know that Justin Crudale is up. And we know that the count now is 2-2 with 2 outs and nobody on.
This is funny. When you and I need a snack, we go grab a donut. Amber's eating grapes and wheat thins.
I have to keep my girlish figure.
Where are the donuts?
I'm just saying, when you and I when we need something.
I know, I'm
You're
just
more
saying.
than welcome to have a grape.
There's a swing and a fly ball into left field, and not quite able to make the catch over there is Kenny White. It was a great effort, but he couldn't quite corral it. It'll go down as a trap ball and a base hit for Crudale.
Yeah, it was a really good try. He hustled in, and the ball seemed to, I thought it was hit a lot harder than it was.
Yeah.
I think it kind of was a dying quail.
Well, if you look out at the flags out in center field, the wind is blowing in a little bit. Maybe it was caught up. Nope, see? Ben Cabanas now stepping in. And I still don't know if they're adding him to the lineup or up and in on that one. And he goes down.
Hello.
Let's look at that one again. This new pitcher, Eric Garcia, throwing a lot harder than Joe Olivaria.
Yeah.
And up and in. And Cabanas gets out of the way. He'll take another ball. It's 2-0.
I don't think you're going to be digging into that box anytime soon, huh?
Well, I'm not going to be digging into the box at all until I'm playing for Amber's father-son team, so. 3-0 now to Cabanas. 2 outs, runner at first. Bottom of the fifth, 4-4. Our first ever video webcast at the 25th anniversary of the MSBL MABL World Series strike taken by Cabanas on 3-0. We're back at it again tomorrow, 12:30 game, right? Tomorrow?
We hope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tentative scheduling time.
Well, if the game before it ends.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Another strike called, 3-2.
Going live, Joel, is easier said than done, you know.
Crudale will be running off of first, or should be. There he goes, and the pitch is fouled off behind home. We'll do it again.
Just the remarkable effort that the MVP media guys put together to get this, to get the MSBL World Series Daily News Show on the air was pretty impressive.
I think it's media MVP, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm outvoted on that one. I like it the other way, but we'll go with what you guys are saying.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. The pitch is taken. Strike 3 called, and that will end the inning. And actually, when all was said and done, Eric Garcia strikes out the side. Strikeouts 1, 2, and 3 for him in his first inning of work. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left. We go to the 6th. We're still knotted up at 4. Welcome back out here to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Amber Boletto, Tom Prendergast. 25th anniversary of the MSBL MABL World Series. We are covering a father and son central game. The Tri-Valley Giants, San Diego Blue Jays all knotted up at 4 in this one as we move into the 6th inning. And we get to see another inning of work, at least to start out with, from Rich Mangini, who took over for J.B. Boersma, who only pitched to 1 batter. Evan Bayless had the start in this one. The Giants actually jumped out to the 1-0 lead. Then 4 runs unanswered by the Blue Jays gave them the 4-1 lead. Giants roar back in the bottom of the 4th with 3, 4-4 as we go into the 6th.
And Joel, who better to talk about this concept than our founder, Steve Sigler?
Is he coming?
Well, I think he's in the stadium, and I'm hoping we can get his attention and get him up here.
We always like hearing from Steve. A.O. Olivaria leading things off here in the 6th, as he will take one inside for a ball, maybe a bit high. 1-0 the count. A.O. has had a good game, 1 for 1 with a double, run scored, walked, and was stranded back in the 3rd. Batting here in the 6th. 1-0 the count, the pitch. Breaking ball up a bit high again for a ball, 2-0. So, one of the things that can be tough when you have a lot of people batting, as Olivaria will tap one foul to the third base side. 2-1 the count. But when you have 12 guys batting and AB batters and so on and so forth, some of the times that you do that, it's a long period of time between times that you bat. Such is the case. This is actually not too bad. 3 innings between AD and his bat in the 3rd inning and now in the 6th. But having participated in that sort of thing in the past occasionally before myself, sometimes you'll find that it'll be 4 or 5 innings between at bats, and that can be tough. Olivaria's 2-1 pitch is tapped again, foul on the third base side. 2-2 now the count. Blue Jays scored all of their runs against Evan Bayless, the starter, I believe. Mangini out from the belt, even though nobody on base. His pitch is in the dirt, bounced about a foot in front of home place. Gonna move the count to 3-2. Leadoff batter here in the top of the 6th. Olivaria, he's the catcher in today's game for the Blue Jays. Awaiting the 3-2 pitch on the way. And a swing and a comebacker through the middle. Shortstop's going to hit the base. Not sure if they would have gotten him anyway, honestly. And that will go down as a base hit. And a little bit of an unfortunate situation for the Giants. Lolio and Cabanas up the middle. And we'll take a look at the ground ball. It was a high hopper over the pitcher's mound, and it just clipped second base as it went through. But like I said, although he's a catcher, Olivaria on his horse down to first, I don't think they'd have been able to get him anyway. That brings up Joe Olivaria, AO's father, we're assuming. And the starting pitcher in the game swings at the first pitch and hits one foul on the first base side. 0-1 the count. Nico Lalio is over at first, so I'm not exactly sure who's playing short right now. Oh, the count to Joe Olivaria with AO at first, and the pitch caught the corner for a strike. It's 0-2. Olivario on the day, Joe, I guess I should say, singled, was erased on a fielder's choice, and was the only batter to face J.B. Boersma to end the 4th inning, now up in the 6th. Check over at first.
He's really pitched very well so far this game, Joel.
Rich Mangini, you mean?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with him.
You mean his pitches to home or his pitches to first and second?
All of them.
0-2 the count. Runner doesn't go. The pitch is popped weakly in the infield. It's going to bounce to the shortstop. The throw over to first got him. Nice play. And I can at least tell you now that the shortstop is Josh Shaw.
Well, Josh Shaw, he made a heck of a play, didn't he?
He did at that. It was helped that Joe Olivaria is not all that fleet-footed going down to first base, so he had a little extra time, but still, that was a heck of a play. So that'll bring up Abraham Contreras. He had an RBI fielder's choice, scored a run in the 2nd, flew out to left his last time up in the 4th. So Josh Shaw, who started the game in center field, now playing at short, and had to come in for that one on the sort of weak tapper, made a good play. And, you know, did you notice, by the way, that he also had the vision, or, you know, the baseball sense to actually run to third after he threw the ball because there was a runner on second and nobody covering third?
As a matter of fact, Joel, I did notice that.
That was a heck of a play. Foul by Contreras.
And speaking of a heck of a play, wasn't the home plate umpire going to be fitted with a little ump cam? Is that what they call those?
We'd have to check with Mike Puglisi, our director, about that.
Boy, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be cool.
I believe he actually was working on getting a contour camera that he could put on the umpire. There's a swing and a line drive. That's going to be fair, just inside the line at third.
Oof.
One run will come in. Contreras easily into second base with a double. RBI double for Contreras. The Blue Jays back out on top. It is 5-4.
Boy, that ball was a shot, Joel, right down the line. Looked like it hit about maybe a foot fair. Whew.
Got another look at it. And yeah, we've had a few that have been right along the line. It was just fair. And it drove in a run. RBI double. Brings up Chris Whitcomb, who is in an AB situation here, so this is only his second at bat. His spot in the order has come up twice, but he only bat in the first one, and he got on the first time on a ground ball to third that was mishandled. Ended up stranded at second. The 1-0 pitch, a swing and a miss, and boy, he was shooting for the fences on that one, wasn't he?
You know, I've never played with a wood bat before. I would really love to try that while I'm out here.
I am absolutely sure that could be arranged. In fact, there's a batting cage over in the Players Club, and we can get you a wood bat, and maybe Tom could throw you some batting practice.
Take it easy on me. I'm a newbie.
Ball up
Joel,
high, 2-1.
Speaking of the wood bats, we have a lot of different vendors here that I'm sure.
Every day I've come in, I've seen dozens of wood bats right over. And we got the trade show. There might be a few more. Anything special going on in the trade show?
It sure looks like it.
This week. There's a swing and a fly ball into center field. Going back, making the catch.
Nice.
Is the center fielder who's not Josh Shaw, but we will get a good look at it. Maybe our cameras can pick out his number. Let's take a look. It's a nice hit ball there by Whitcomb. And it's Tyler Brubaker who makes the catch out there.
It was a heck of a play by Tyler on that, Joel.
Over his shoulder. That's our second or third over-the-shoulder catch. The first baseman, you remember, earlier in the game made one like that too. Brings up Armando Santiago with runner at second and now 2 outs. Way outside on that pitch. 1-0 the count. Santiago's had a pretty good day. He has singled twice, 2 for 2. Was stranded both times. One time he was erased in a double play situation. The other time he was just left on first. 1-0 the count. And a look back to second. Nobody covering over there. Contreras back in. 1-0, 2 outs. Top of the 6th, 5-4 for the Blue Jays. 1 run home in the inning. Check swing. And the ball gets away from the catcher. And down to third goes Contreras on the wild pitch. 2-0 now the count to Santiago, and a lot of things will get him home from third now. Two 2-0 count. Mangini's pitch. Lobs one in there, stays up high, 3-0.
Joel, UIC Dick Jolly told me that the umpires, in fact, are wearing pink shirts for breast cancer awareness.
That's lovely.
So Amber was right.
We kind of guessed.
I just thought they messed up the laundry.
Well, they do look better than the white ones, I think. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, and ball 4 to Santiago. Did have a base open, now first and third with 2 outs. And we're going to see Jesse Garcia back again in the AB slot. With runners at the corners and 2 outs in the 6th. 1 run home already. An RBI double by Contreras to send Ao Olivaria home, who had singled in the inning. And that's the difference in the game right now. 5-4 our score. Jesse Garcia, his second at bat, had an RBI sacrifice fly his first time up. Takes the ball, good stop by Crudale behind the plate. He's had a good game.
Very good game. See, he's using knee savers.
Never could use those myself.
Really?
Yeah, I always felt like I was sitting on something.
Oh, I loved them.
Well, you're the one who had the knee surgeries. Mine, luckily, are okay, knock on wood. There's a swing and a line drive into left field. Back for it, Cabanas, and he will make the catch and end the inning. But they do get 1 run on, let's see, 2 base hits. They will leave 1 man at first. We will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Jays back on top. It is 5-4. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, and Amber Boletto as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning in what is now a 1-run game, and the Giants for the second time in the game finding themselves needing to come back in this one. Trailing now 5-4. I'm not exactly sure where they are in their lineup because, like we said last inning, they kept adding people to the end, and I'm not sure if they're done with that. It looks like they are. We're going to go to the top of the order, and Josh Shaw will lead things off here in the 6th inning. Josh, who made that great play at short last inning, if you recall. He is, let's see, 1 for 2 in the game. He singled and scored their first run in the first. Got on a fielder's choice, stole a base. He's got 2 stolen bases in this game. And takes a strike 0-1. We're seeing Eric Garcia for his second inning of work. 1-1 the count to Shaw, leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th. 5-4 for the Blue Jays. Giants at the plate. And a ball over but low. That's 2-1. You going to check out the trade show? We said last night on the Daily Show you were going to go shopping.
Yeah, as long as you're buying.
Swinging a ground ball too short. Ruiz makes the play over to first. 1 away.
Ooh, nice hustle.
Let's take a look at that one again on the ground out from Shaw. And, one of the things we talk about in these games, and you've seen enough of these, is making the routine plays. You make the routine plays, you win games.
Absolutely. You got to play smart.
And while, that was a nice play, it falls under the realm of routine. And so that'll bring up Nico Lolio. He'll take a ball 1-0. But, what really kills you in really almost any baseball game is when you give up the 4 and 5 and 6 out innings.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to foul out a play on the third base side. Third baseman gives it a look. Contreras, but leaves it alone as it goes well into the stands. It's got to be exciting for these guys to play in a stadium for those who are here for the first time.
Yeah, and one of the biggest stadiums, not stadiums, but fields that there are.
Well, it's a big field, but, playing on the same park where they know major leaguers do.
Yeah, it's got to be an exhilarating feeling. Feel like a pro.
I'm not sure if we're going to get to send you down for post-game interviews or not. We'll get word about that from our director, Mike Puglisi, as soon as he starts paying attention. So we won't be doing those live, it sounds like. 3-0 now the count to Lolio. And he'll take a ball, trot down to first for a walk. 1 on, 1 out now here in the 6th inning. First walk of the game by Garcia. You remember he struck out the side in his first inning of work last inning in the 5th. Now a ground out and a walk. And that'll bring up Benji Cabanas. Check over to Lolio at first. We have a very special guest here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
We do.
As Steve Sigler has joined us. Steve?
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Amber. Hi, Joel. I had to be here.
Well, of course.
It's a special occasion.
Indeed.
It is. Congratulations, by the way, Grandpa.
Thank you. I wish my grandchildren here with me. It would make it even more special to share with them. Every day, share with them is special.
Absolutely.
Cabanas takes the ball. It's 1-1, 1 out. Man on first here, bottom of the 6th. Good game going on here. Have you been watching this?
Yeah, I have. I like to sit anonymously down the right field line and get that 15 minutes of no one coming over to me and ask me a question. So I do enjoy watching the games, and especially the father-son. It's one of the best divisions we have. And
you've played in it before.
I was just going to ask.
There's almost every division I've played in except the younger division. I started the league when I was 38, and first World Series was 40. So I've played in 40, 50, and father-son.
Little Texas leaguer there into right field, drops in for a base hit for Cabanas, first and second, and one out here in the bottom of the bottom of the sixth. Giants trying to come back here, trailing 5-4. Already came back from a 3-run deficit, trying to come back from a 1-run deficit. So doing a little King Lear action out there in right field, trying to be anonymous.
Wow.
It's not anonymous anymore, unfortunately.
The King Lear thing is definitely throwing me for a loop. I'm looping that one, trying to quite get it, but
watching them
we'll let that go.
Watching them set up the trade show.
I am. That's a terrific point, Joe.
Tyler Brubaker will stand in, takes a strike, 0-1, 2 on and 1 out here in the sixth. 25th anniversary of the World Series.
And you're tired correctly, too. I like the shirt that you're wearing. It's important that...
if only they had a camera around here that they could actually show that.
For sure. It's important that every staff member show off the various aspects of our novelty shop and the 25th anniversary outerwear that we have. But it's a real tribute to the entire organization and the tireless hours that our league presidents and managers put in that enable us to be in a 25th year and to host the largest baseball tournament in the world with 30 separate divisions of play from all the different age levels and the competitive levels. And it's almost been a perfect 2 weeks so far. From the weather, from the competition, from the comments from the managers, the staff has been outstanding. The addition of the Daily Show has produced over 10,000 hits to our website on a daily basis.
Woohoo.
So, it's a cumulative effort that doesn't just happen here. It starts in January 1st of 2012 for this year's World Series, and likewise from getting the logo to deciding what premium items to give the players and securing all the facilities, the umpires, etc. So it's a great effort.
2-2 pitch is ripped out to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Brubaker on, loads him up with 1 out for Mike Crudale. Whose novelty shop did you say that was?
The novelty shop?
Yeah, whose is that?
That's Vic Puglisi's.
Oh, shameless plug time here. In case you didn't know where I was going with that.
Of course
Very
I did.
subtle.
Yes, the developer of the Players Club and our daily show that we have every evening. That's very capably handled by you and Amber.
Well, the good news is I'll be wearing this shirt on the Daily Show, so everybody will get to see the 25th anniversary
we've
logo.
gotten a lot of good comments on the Daily Show too, especially as the days pass by and more people are aware of watching it and finding out what's happening. It's producing the objectives that it originally was developed for.
Good.
Well, Crudale standing in here with the sacks jam and 1 out. Giants trying to come back here, trailing 5-4 in the sixth.
And Joe, I just want to mention also that we had a celebration for 19 players who've been in all 25 years.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We've talked to quite a few of them already.
Yeah.
We gave them a nice honor, nice dinner, and they're all sworn that they want to come to the 50th anniversary. So that's the type of optimism that
fly ball into right field.
That prevailed during that dinner.
That'll go down as a sacrifice fly. We are tied at 5. Crudale RBI sacrifice fly to right. 2 outs in the inning. We'll take another look at it. Crudale hit it plenty deep enough to get the run home. Lolio scoring from third, and in fact, Cabanas was able to even go to third. Now 2 outs, though, for Scott Shaw. We have a barbecue every week.
We do.
That's Saturday?
That's actually tonight, Joe.
It's tonight. Okay.
You're not reading the cue cards
I'm
correctly.
sorry.
We have to get those cue cards updated.
You got to.
It's tonight and Sunday.
Okay.
That's why you have me here. I'm a fact checker.
Fly ball to right. Great catch over in right field. Joel Contreras. And that will end the inning. We'll take a look at it again as we head out to the 7th. But the Giants do tie it up 5-5 after 6 at Tempe Diablo. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto, and our very special guest, Steve Sigler, the founder of the MSBL. And we appreciate you sticking around for another inning here.
Thank you, Joel.
We got a big game coming up later on in the tournament, as we're going to get to see some former major leaguers.
Yeah, the Legends of Baseball Showdown will be here Sunday, 7 o'clock. Many well-known ex-major leaguers will be participating. It'll all be for charity. They'll be playing an MSBL team that actually got put together through auction on the internet. People bid for a position for a certain number of innings.
Oh, wow.
They'll be playing 1880 style baseball using the gloves from the 1880s and the uniforms and the umpire. So it should be really interesting to see as well.
Where did you find the balls from 1880?
They do. I don't have that. It's one of the few responsibilities that I was not put forth to have.
Because those were kind of softer in those days.
Those. Of course, I want to welcome all the MSBL and MABL members who are listening to the broadcast, as well as our families. But also say a special hello to my son Brian, who hopefully is listening to this. Was scheduled to come with my two grandchildren, but they were blessed to have a third grandchild, Drew, a baby girl, 2 weeks ago, and I know that they miss not being here, but certainly Brian is an integral part of the entire MSBL, MABL fabric, and almost every manager that registers their team always asks for him. So even though he's not here, he's here in spirit for sure.
Well, and we're waiting for a picture that we can put up.
Oh, the new baby girl.
Yep. And if Wes and Max are listening, special hello to them. Papa loves you.
Mike Cruz standing in to lead things off here in the top of the 7th. We're knotted up at 5, Blue Jays and Giants, San Diego and Tri-Valley. Mike Cruz in an AB slot. He doubled, in fact, and scored in his only other at-bat back in the 3rd inning. When this spot in the order came up in the 4th, it was the B batter, Cisneros. So he'll take a strike 1-1.
Just a quick point also. One of the most gratifying aspects of not only to see the number of teams and players that participate on an annual basis, but it's the significant difference that MSBL has made in so many people's lives, and from the enhancement of it, and not just from the baseball perspective. It's the friends, the camaraderies, the relationships that are developed off the field because of the creation of the MSBL. If it didn't exist, all these guys wouldn't have the opportunity to have all of these other outlets. They're healthy. They get a lot of support from their wives and girlfriends home. A lot of the kids are here with their dads, and it's really gratifying to see the positive aspects of the organization.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, even just from a personal standpoint, I can tell you how many. First of all, every time everybody sees me, the first thing they say is, "Have you lost weight?" And it's because I play on 2 different baseball teams back in Kansas City in Tom's league, and because I don't do anything else. I don't, I eat horribly, and
it's important for our listeners to know that.
So
really important. And Amber eats very healthy.
I know, grapes and wheat thins.
Yeah.
What more could one ask?
Nothing.
And apparently, all I eat is donuts, according to Tom.
Well, that's okay.
1 and 2 to Mike Cruz leading off here in the top of the 7th.
Did you mention it's been sunny and 85 degrees every day, Joel?
I have mentioned that.
Gorgeous.
It couldn't be any better. I mean, absolutely.
Today's wonderful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
This week we have the 55 playoffs today. Championships for them are tomorrow in the 2 competitive divisions that we have for 55. Our 25 aluminum will have their playoffs tomorrow. 25 wood, 3 divisions will have their playoffs on Saturday, as well as 65 and over divisions, and their championships will be on Sunday. And then on Monday, which is our final week, we'll have all 45 wood divisions and our 60 wood divisions as well, and the 35 aluminum.
Wow. Swing
and a miss for Cruz. That's the 2nd strikeout for Rich Mangini since he took over back in the 4th inning. And it will bring up Joel Contreras, I believe, is the next batter, unless they're pinch hitting for him. 1 out here, nobody on in the top of the 7th. And they did in fact bring in a different batter. I think this may be Joe Whitcomb. Standing in. And in fact, that is who it is. And a comebacker to the pitcher. Mangini will make the play. Underhand toss to first for the 2nd out of the inning. So nothing doing so far here for the Blue Jays. And you said you'd played in almost every division in the MSBL. I don't think we've seen the 55, 65, and 70 divisions yet, have we?
Not for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, no.
So
no,
all of the ones you've been eligible for.
That's correct.
Including this father-son division,
Yep, and
which you played with Brian.
Yep, I love playing.
And your other boy, too. He was also...
Adam, he hasn't really played baseball since...
Not for a while, but I remember, like, one of the first years I was here, I think he played on a team. I don't know if it was father-son, but I remember him playing when he was down here.
Well, I look forward in 11 years where I could play, Brian can play, and my grandson can play. That would be a real treat of my life. Be able to share the field with my son and grandson. And I'm sure that's going to happen one day. And if for whatever reason I don't make the cut for the team, then just my son and grandson.
Well, you definitely are going to make the cut for the team. But if you maybe we can get Val Lewis to start the father-son
He
division.
can have his own team.
Well, speaking of siblings, Steve, I know I'm a huge fan of your daughter. I've followed her since The Sopranos, and I hear she has a new show, which I haven't had the pleasure of watching yet.
That's right, Amber. Actually, it was on last night, Guys with Kids. It's a Jimmy Fallon-produced
sitcom, I'm assuming.
Sitcom, 8:30 p.m., which was 7:30 here in Arizona on NBC. And actually, they had their Halloween version last night. It was really fun. It was very good. And you can probably see on the internet. It's doing extremely well. And she did a big publicity tour this past week of several shows in New York. And it's an enjoyable show to watch, and I'm very proud of her. And she's going to, matter of fact, she'll be here tomorrow night. So I get to spend some quality time with my daughter. Someone's birthday is on Saturday, as well as our banquet.
Nice.
Close play down there at first on the snap throw by the catcher Crudale. Just did beat it back in.
Jamie ever have any interest in the father-son division?
She's been here, actually. She's seen us play on several occasions, but her schedule is so busy that the time she can come out are limited. But she's seen me play, and we've indoctrinated to make her a big New York Ranger fan. Even though she lives in Los Angeles, her heart is still with the Rangers.
She's going to sing the national anthem for us again?
She's not. I've asked her to, and she
politely declined.
Politely declined. She has an 8 o'clock flight, so that she'd sing here at 6:45, and it's just too tight. But she's sung for the Rangers, the Yankees, the Patriots, the Nets, and the Knicks. So she's done a lot of national anthems. And she actually did one at an MSBL World Series many years ago on Sports Channel, which was nationally televised. I think she was 10 years old at the time.
Wow.
We saw pictures during...
We did. The history of.
During Tom's history lesson.
That's right.
Professor Tom.
Correct.
Top of the order, Eric Garcia standing in here with 1 on and 2 outs, top of the 7th. In a 5-5 game. Count 3-1.
Joe, we also, some interesting other teams that we have. We had a team from Holland here last week.
We did, the Dutch Tigers.
They went to the championship game in 18 Wood. They did well. And we have 4 teams from St. Thomas and 6 teams from Canada.
Garcia will earn a walk here.
Steve, you mentioned the support from spouses, girlfriends, and I think your wife is out here right now, Connie?
She is. Connie's here, and she's getting ready for the barbecue and the trade show tonight. That she looks good.
Probably getting some sun.
Which is a mandate.
Absolutely.
It's just an order.
Part of the job.
Yeah, but I love having her out here and sharing, and she takes great pride. Matter of fact, at yesterday's team registration, she sat by me and helped with the registration for about 50 teams.
Wow.
And she's been a part of MSBL. When I first started, she was my secretary, assistant, took all the calls, typed all the letters, the correspondence. My kids put the letters in the envelopes. We had kind of an assembly line. Someone put the stamp, someone put the letter in the envelope, someone taped the envelope closed.
Very Brady Bunch of you
that's
guys.
how it all started. Yeah, when I started MSBL, there was no faxes, no internet, no cell phones, no call waiting.
Right.
It was just the phone and the mail.
Right.
Yeah, but it was lucky to be in the right place at the right time with the right product to put out there. And guys just were wanting to play baseball, but they needed someone to show them that at 30 and over, you're not done with baseball.
No.
If you can play with your own contemporaries in your own age group and play maybe one game a week where you're not taking away from the demanding time of your family or your job, they're going to find that good. So that was the right formula at the right time, and so many people were receptive, and we had so many people who were willing to put in the time and effort to develop on a local basis and have been supportive, on a continual basis. Many of our league presidents do it for at least a decade.
Wow.
They have that kind of devotion.
Double barrel activity going on in the Giants bullpen now as Rich Mangini having a little bit of trouble with his control. Tony Cisneros, the number 2 hitter, standing in with runners on first and second and 2 outs in the top of the 7th in a 5-5 game. And we have noticed Rich Mangini being very concerned about runners at second base since he's been in. And there's a check down there.
Has anyone mentioned the colors of the umpire's shirt?
We've
a few times.
About, I think, 6 or 70 times.
Yeah. I'm incriminating myself that I have not been listening to the broadcast until I came up here. So
You were
Okay.
busy.
correct.
You were
That's right.
busy being anonymous.
That's
Tom's
right.
theory was that they threw something red in the laundry.
No, it looks good. I like it. We had umps with camouflage shirts this morning.
We
And,
did?
Yeah. The
I
first
didn't
game
see
was in
'em.
camouflage shirts. Yeah.
I didn't think we had any.
I want to say
umpires in the
I
game.
talked about the staff before being so helpful, but obviously, the most shining example of that has been Tom. He is the tournament director. He has been for a decade now, and under his tutelage, and the other workers are so dedicated. They enjoy coming out here. It's really not a job. It's a passion of love and enjoyment, and he does such an outstanding job each year in making my job easier. And he's a taskmaster, which works and which is needed.
One of these days, you're going to have to find somebody who works hard, though.
Yeah. And it's good that his wife Linda's here.
Yeah.
She does a great job in the office. She's pleasant to speak to when the teams call in, so it creates
It's nice
a really
to have another woman around.
right. Yep, Amber, you were bound to say that.
Well, I was going to say, we
You're,
usually
you're
have
really
those.
edging for the women's side, which is okay.
We just like because when
Needs to be spoken for.
we like it because when she's in the office, he doesn't yell as much.
You talking about Tom?
Yeah.
I've never heard him yell. Yet to hear him. I've never heard him edgy or testy.
2-2, 2 outs, 2 on. Swinging a foul straight back off the screen. We'll do that again.
When you see a pitch like that, a curveball that curves right down the middle of the plate, right at waist high, you want to be in that batter's box so much. You want to have been that batter
I do.
who had the opportunity to swing at that pitch. Right there to be hit.
Amber's going to start a father-son team for next year. She's going to have me on it.
Okay. And what designation would you have?
Uh,
Uncle?
Uncle, yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
what
dear.
I thought.
Oh, dear.
There's a line drive into left field. That's going to be fair. That's going to get down. They're going to send the runner in toward home. The throw comes in. It is not in time.
Nice.
All the way into second base goes Cisneros. And the Blue Jays back out on top for the third time in this game. It is 6-5. Let's take another look. Tony Cisneros with the RBI double. One man will come in to score. And second and third now with 2 outs.
Steve's very busy, and
Yeah.
I'm sure he has many tasks to attend to.
Nice.
Well, I was going to say, we're going to have a couple of minutes here as they change pitchers for the Giants, and we'll have a chance to say goodbye to Steve Sigler, but we do appreciate you sitting in with us for an
Yes,
inning or
certainly.
so.
You're welcome. Thank you, Joel and Amber, for having me as a guest. And I've enjoyed my time speaking with both of you and appreciate the efforts that you both put forth here in Arizona. And I know
Thank
that they're sincere efforts. And because they're sincere, they're that much special. And I know that the efforts that you put forth are sincerely appreciated by the team managers and the players. So all the listeners out there, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good season and you're enjoying the broadcast.
All right,
Thank you,
Steve.
Steve.
That's Steve Sigler, and we appreciate him with his presence in the booth. It's always good to hear from the boss. That'll do it for Rich Mangini. And it looks like they're going to bring J.B. Boersma back into the game. I mentioned before earlier on that, he came in to pitch to one guy back in the third inning, and that you're allowed to bring him back in once, and it looks like they are going to bring him back in. Did I catch the number correctly? That's J.B. Boersma 33, yeah. So
He has that very specific
well,
technique.
that's why I assumed it was him when you saw the submarine. But it's a father-son, so maybe he learned it from Dad. You never know.
Maybe.
So I didn't want to make any assumptions. So how about Steve Sigler?
How about it? It's nice to have the BMOC on the show.
Jeff Ruiz will stand in to face him. Only faced one batter, Joe Olivaria, back in the third inning, got him out to end it. Blue Jays coming back for the third time in the game. They lead at 6-5, top of the seventh inning. The swing and a fly ball out into center field. Brubaker will head over and make the catch, and that will end the inning. But the Blue Jays head back out in front once again. They get one run on 2 hits. They'll end up stranding 2. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time, folks. 6-5 for the Blue Jays. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablos Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Blue Jays on top of the Giants. 6-5 the score in this one. As the Giants, for the third time, will try and come back and at least tie this one up. They were winning in this game in the first. They got the first run of the game to win or to lead 1-0, but ever since then it's pretty much been the Blue Jays get out on top and the Giants come back and tie it. We'll see if they can do it again. The pitcher, J.B. Boersma, who came in for the second time in the game to get one out and finish off an inning, coincidentally enough, will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. He singled and was stranded on first his first time up back in the second. He's in an A-B slot, so he did not bat the second time this spot came up. Actually, I think he did, now that I recall it. So he's 2 for 2. Singled both times, stole a base and scored in the 4th. And he swings at the first pitch. And a ground ball to short over to first for the out. There is one away. Routine play, as we talked about before, by the Blue Jays there. As Eric Garcia still in to pitch for this Blue Jay team. Came in the 5th. This is his 3rd inning of work. Gave up a run last inning. And he faces Kyle Cabanas. Started the game at second. He is 1 for 2, singled, and also popped out to first back in the 3rd inning. Erased on a fielder's choice in the 4th. We're in the 7th, 6-5. Close game.
Very close.
Feel fortunate about that. There's a fly ball on the foul side of first, and unable to get to it, Joe Olivaria, who has moved from pitcher over to first base. Long way to go to get to that.
Yeah.
And
valiant effort, though.
Count goes to 1-1. So what's the first trade show booth you plan on going to?
I'm telling you, I have a very, I'm really interested in wood bats. I might pick myself one up.
I'm going to the donut booth. Apparently.
Apparently I'm going to the salad booth.
One pitch in the dirt. Gets by Olivaria, but nobody on. 2-1 the count. I believe tomorrow's is a father-son game as well, but I believe it's father-son national instead of father-son central.
What is the difference?
It's the skill level.
Oh, okay.
National is the top skill level in the MSBL tournament, whether it's father-son or 18 or 25 or whatever. Then it goes to American and then kind of central, mountain, cactus, all that other stuff.
Got it.
Beyond that. And the pitch outside for ball 4, and Cabanas will get a free pass to first. Second time he's been on base in the game. 1 on, 1 out for the Giants. So father-son national tomorrow. I'm not sure which teams they are, but it's scheduled for a 12:30 start, as we found out today. Not that we didn't know this, but
Could
it
definitely
could be
start much later than that.
Well, hopefully not much later. They do have time limits in these games, so
That's true.
you can only go so far, but
It was about a 20-minute delay today.
more or less, yeah. That brings in Sean Brubaker, and he swings and hits one straight back off the screen. Foul ball 0-1. This is Sean Brubaker, and he is batting for as he grounds one to second. The throw over to first. Out it's first.
Nice
just
hustle from
barely
the pitcher.
to come over and make the play. Yeah, as a pitch or the ball was to the right of the first baseman who went for it. He couldn't get to it. Second baseman made the play, and the pitcher covering Garcia. And a very close play. I'm not sure. Do we have another look at that one? And I'm not sure if we have another look, but if we do, I also am not sure whether or not we can see whether it was out at first, and I don't think we're going to look just to be safe. So that'll bring up Dana Shaw. And there's another ground ball to first to his right. Oh, he bobbles the ball. Sliding head first into first is Shaw. And everybody's safe, first and third.
We did have that last one. Not the fumble with the ball, but the base being safe.
So everybody's safe. First and third now, 2 outs. And that's going to bring up, it looks like another pinch hitter. They continue to try and get participation in. Pinch hitter is number 13, but I don't have him on my roster. Oh, there he is, Jeff Boersma. He was actually in the original lineup. There he is. So he's A-Bing with Angela Crudale. He singled and was erased on the fielder's choice his first time up. So runners at first and third. 2 outs in the inning. Check on the runner at first. Close play. I guess that last one will go down as an error on the first baseman.
He fumbled a bit.
The play before that goes 4-1 for the second out. And Boersma stands in with runners on the corners and 2 outs in the inning. Batting from the left side against Eric Garcia. And the pitch in the dirt and inside. That'll be ball 4. And Boersma will head on down to first. That will load up the bases for, well, Justin Crudale, who is due up. And Tom Prendergast rejoins us in the booth. Tom, this Giants team never say die, huh? They keep coming back in this one now. Bases loaded, 2 outs, trailing 6-5 in the 7th.
Boy, what a good game, Joel. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit more activity in the Jays bullpen again.
The Blue Jays getting some action up. Did you notice when they had 2 guys throwing in the Giants bullpen, they lost the ball about 3 times on that side where there's not really a bullpen? Justin Crudale does stand in here, takes the ball. And now it looks like Eric Garcia, who was strong for the first couple innings he was in, is having a little bit of trouble with some control here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-0 the count to Justin Crudale. Takes a strike, gets 1-1. Crudale in his only other plate appearance singled, and that was the first inning that Garcia worked. He eventually struck out the side in that inning, allowed the one hit. And the 1-1 pitch is low for a ball, 2-1.
And just a little reminder to the viewers and players, they're setting up the barbecue that's happening tonight, I think around 7?
Something like that.
Something like that.
We got any donuts at the barbecue?
I do know it's free, though, so just show up and eat.
Oh, throwback to first is going to go into
no.
right field. A run will score. An error on the catcher, Olivaria, and that's going to tie the game. How about that?
Well, it's a great play, Joel, if he gets him out.
The run going in, but not the ball missing.
Well, let's we're not going to actually get a chance to see the throw down there, but take my word for it, it was about at least 6 feet over the head of Joe Olivaria there at first, and a run comes in to score. That'll go down as an error on the catcher. An unearned run for Garcia. It is 6-6. Now runners at first and third. Crudale still up.
Well, there was a lot of daylight there between the first baseman and the runner. I know what the catcher was thinking.
The pitch to Crudale up high for a ball. And that'll be ball 4 and loads him up a second time for Ben Cabanas.
Now the manager's coming up.
Well, as we mentioned, they were quickly getting some bullpen work, and I don't know if he's ready yet or if they're just stalling a little bit to get him ready. Ben Ruiz coming out to talk to Eric Garcia.
Oh, yeah. He's stalling, Joel.
Well, the men in pink don't seem to be in any hurry to make a move.
Did the boss notice the men in pink?
He did. Brought it up, in fact.
Yep,
And we outed him for the fact that he hadn't been listening because we had already talked about it.
about 6 times.
He asked us if we had mentioned the pink umpire uniforms, and we had. See that traffic building up out on I-10 there?
I do my own laundry, Joel. That's why I know about the pink, shirts. So
I understand. Well, Linda has a lot to do here.
who?
Your wife,
Oh, right.
who's here at the World Series. Strike called to Cabanas, and a swing and a miss. It's 0-2, so maybe it wasn't just a stalling technique. It looks like whatever Ben Ruiz said to him hit home. It's 0-2. Tie game in the 7th. The pitch.
Nice.
Strike 3 called.
Nice.
Just caught the outside corner, and with the bases loaded, Garcia able to get out of it with just the 1-run damage. It was an unearned run at that, but it does, in fact, tie the game. We'll see the strikeout as we head to the 8th inning. We are knotted up at 6. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker along with Tom Prendergast, Amber Boleto. It's the Tri-Valley Giants San Diego Blue Jays knotted up at 6 after 7 full innings. And I believe that we have a new pitcher. So twice in the game, J.B. Boersma came in. Did you catch the number when you just turned around there for a second? No, it's still Boersma out there.
Is that a trick question?
It's Boersma. He's going to stay in the game.
Joel, wouldn't it be something if we had extra innings in our first
That would
broadcast
be
game.
something.
How about that?
So a lot of people probably don't know this. If the game is tied at regulation, they go to extra innings, but there is a time limit. As A.O. Olivaria leads off, and I tell you what, he's the man who basically is responsible for this game being tied after throwing the ball into right field. What an opportunity to lead off the inning and see if he can't right that wrong.
Yeah.
He has been busy today, 2 for 2, doubled, singled, and walked, scored 2 runs already in the game. And he swings and misses at the second offering from Boersma. Boersma's only faced 2 batters and got them both out to end innings. But they're going to leave him in, at least for the moment. No activity in either bullpen right now. And the pitch is swung on, grounded hard to third, past the third baseman, and that's going to go into left field for a base hit. Olivaria thought about testing the throw into second, but he will hold with a base hit.
Redeemed himself a little.
Little bit. Well, he's 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. I don't know that you could ask a whole lot more at the plate from a guy.
That's true.
Hey, and the next batter was walked, so I'm not sure that run wouldn't have scored anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true. Being a little hard on him.
Although when he was walked, there was a base open, so it's kind of tough to just make the assumption. Joe Olivaria squares and bunts it foul back to the screen. 0-1. Joe is 1 for 2 in the game. Singled and was erased on a fielder's choice in the second. Grounded out to short. And that was that great play by Josh Shaw back in the 6th inning. We're in the 8th now. Throw back to first. Close play.
Now, don't you guys have to start getting ready for the show?
What show? What do you mean, get ready for the show?
This is the show.
We were born.
Oh, he would have had him that time, Joel.
And it's going to get past him into right field, and Olivaria is going to go all the way to second. That'll go down as E1. And let's take a look at the pickoff attempt by Boersma. And it gets past the first baseman over to second, Olivaria, so that's going to get him into scoring position with nobody out in the inning. And we're going to have a little meeting on the mound now to figure out how they want to handle this. Getting late in this game, it's a tie ball game, so you got to figure Joe, A.O. at second, Joe at the plate. He's the number 5 hitter, but he's squared to bunt already in this at bat. You'd think he would be trying to advance him to third.
Any way you can at this point.
Well, I mean, if Joe can lay down the bunt and do it, that'd be fine. If he can just pull the ball, that would probably be good enough to send him over.
Huge hole between the second baseman and second base.
They are playing in at the corners, and like you said, now here he squares to bunt, and he'll take a ball. Crudell thought about going down to second, which is not an uncommon thing in this game. So Mike Crudell's been very busy behind the plate. We'll see if Joe Olivaria will square up again. They're charging at first, it looks like. And, oh boy, they would have had him picked off again at second, but nobody was covering as Boersma took a look over there and had Olivaria, A.O., leaning on the play.
He fooled everybody, including his own shortstop.
So Joe Olivaria at the dish. First baseman comes in. He swings, and he will pull it to second. They're going to make the play, but he does his job, gets A.O. over to third with 1 out. Unfortunately for Joe, it doesn't go down as a sacrifice, but it works just as well. 4-3 on the putout, and it is runner on third, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Blue Jays have had the lead 3 different times in this game, trying to get it again.
Yep.
And Abraham Contreras was the batter due up, but they are going to send up a pinch hitter for him here as Jojo Olivaria will stand in. So we've had 3 straight Olivarias at bat here in this game, in this inning.
I wonder if they're related.
It's possible.
Oh, wait a minute. It's the father-son division.
So the big question, though, is he a second son or an uncle or cousin?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He's definitely not a daughter.
Infield is playing in, although not hugely in. They're basically even with the grass creeping in on the pitch. There's a swing and a ground ball to third. Makes the play. Is he going to come home with it? He will.
Nice.
Play at the plate, and he is out.
Nice.
So with the infield drawn in, the ground ball to third, and Olivaria, who is a catcher, of course. He runs okay, but doesn't run great, and the throw beat him. You know, that wasn't a direct hit to the third baseman. Throw beat him by a bit. The slide in, and Crudale applies the tag, and we stay 6-6. Runner on first now and 2 outs.
I think you'd have to say that was a key play.
Absolutely.
And so that will bring up, I believe, Louis Garcia is the next scheduled batter.
Number 24.
Yes. And he takes a strike. Throw over to first, a little closer there. Got to say, Boersma, after throwing the ball into right field, is still not shy about throwing the ball over to first. He threw that one hard. Nico Lolio over at first. There's a swing and a ground ball. Base hit into left field. First and second, and 2 outs. And so the Blue Jays continue not to quiet down. Second hit of the inning. Unable to get the run home with a man on third and less than 2 outs, but they do have a runner in scoring position now as Armando Santiago heads in. He has been on base 3 times with a trio of singles. Or excuse me, I believe he had 2 singles and a walk. First pitch to him is taken for a strike. No activity in either bullpen. First and second, 2 out. Batting from the left side is Santiago. And once again, they had the runner on second leaning, but nobody covering. So no throw is made.
This pitcher is very deceptive, Joel.
Actually holding him on second now, and the pitch is taken over but low for a ball, 1-1. Giants broke out to a lead in this game, but promptly gave it away. Trailing by 3 in the fourth, they scored 3 to tie it. Trailing by 1 in the sixth, they scored 1 to tie it. Trailing by 1 in the seventh, they scored 1 to tie it. Another look over at second, back in time. I will say that in this game, you know, like you mentioned before, you and I have done a lot of these games. I think there has been more attention paid to runners at second in this game than any game we've done in 10 years. Swinging a ground ball to second, makes the play Cabanas for the force, and that will do it. So
Nice.
the Giants were able to escape danger there. The play at the plate. And no run scored. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. We're still knotted up at 6. Welcome back out to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker, Tom Prendergast, Amber Boletto. As the San Diego Blue Jays taking on the Tri-Valley Giants, father and son Central Division. 6-6 our score, bottom of the 8th inning. Good to visit with MSBL founder, President Steve Sigler earlier, but I hear you have a correction for while he was here.
You know, Joel, it's not very often the boss makes a misstatement, but I picked up on one. When he told you that there was a lot of luck involved in getting this league off the ground, I have to differ with that view.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
No lock.
The boss was incredibly tenacious. A lot of follow through, a lot of phone calls. When he talks about no internet and no call waiting, he's correct. There were a lot of days that he would come home from a 9-to-5 job and would work the phones until after midnight. So if there was any luck involved, that it was the right guy at the right time pulling the strings, because Steve worked awfully hard to get this thing off the ground.
And that he did, and he still works very hard. We have a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. I believe it is Chris Whitcomb coming in for Eric Garcia. And, of course, Garcia came in strong but started to struggle the last couple of innings. Gave up a run in the 6th, run in the 7th. Got out of the 8th, but got out of the 7th with only the 1 run given up. As we have the top of the order for the Giants.